Luka Doncic reveals Redick's message for OKC game as national reporter reveals Lakers HC's anger. The Thunder didn't just lose. OKC got rolled over at home, and it wasn't even close. The Lakers walked into town and lit them up, especially Luka Doncic, cruising to a 126-99 win that never felt in doubt. It was the kind of beatdown that makes you forget this team was chasing 70 wins not too long ago. What made the difference? Depth. Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent stepped off the bench like they had something to prove. They gave the Lakers that jolt of energy and kept OKC scrambling. And just when the Thunder thought it couldn't get worse, LeBron turned it up in the second half, casually dropping 19 points like it was nothing. But let's be real, you were probably watching for Luka. After the blowout win, the 5X All-Star spoke to reporters about what sparked the team's aggressive energy on both ends of the floor. With recent returns from key players like Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura giving the Lakers a much-needed boost.
Create mismatches from the jump, and obviously this is the number one defense in the league. How were you able to help create those mismatches and obviously generate season high in threes today?
Just playing our basketball. I think we share the ball great, and that's how we got great looks. Basically, a lot of, I know it's a dominant first half for you, and you've had a lot of recent history with this team playing in the playoffs. What would you say has made them so special throughout the year, coming in and having a game plan for them? Obviously, first he's shy. I think he's an unbelievable player. He makes them look like they're an incredible team, and they are. And then second is, I think, their defense. I have a lot of guys that can guard 1 through 5. They can switch. They can control the game with their defense, and they have a lot of weapons.
Luka, you're obviously very familiar with this OKC team, but thinking just your own team, does getting this win in this fashion give you any additional kind of confidence about where you guys can ultimately go? And how is that coming together for you now as you keep learning your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, it's very tough to play here, very tough to win, obviously. But, and look at the standings today, it's crazy in the West, so we needed this win badly.
In just the past 6 games, you guys have beaten 2 of the teams above you in the West, and JJ said in those performances you guys have had some of your better defensive games since LeBron and Rui came back. What does it say about the group that you guys were or have been able to do that?
I mean, just amazing. Like we said from the start, JJ said, we need to be physical and we need to go out on this game aggressive, and that's what we did. So that was our goal, and we shot pretty good. We got a lot of open looks, so the game was flowing.
Luka, obviously for you, night in, night out, you want to be engaged, you want to do the right things, you want to make the right plays. But when a team challenges you the way that a defender like Lu Dort wants to, or the way that high pressure defense, what level of creativity does that unlock for you? It seems like you enjoy kind of that level of I guess there's probably no better word than challenge.
Yeah, I understand. I think it brings the competitive spirit out of me. It brings the best out of me. Going against Lu Dort, it's a tough job. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA. So it brings the motive, to try and win the game.
Luka, it felt like you guys really dictated the terms offensively and made them into a more switch-heavy team, and then eventually they started to kind of blitz a bit, and then you guys were picking them apart. What does that say about the ceiling for this group offensively as going up against the league's best defense? You're able to kind of control the game that way.
Yeah, I think we're at the best, when they blitz. It's, I would say, easy basketball 4-on-3. I mean, obviously it's not easy, but, we just kind of worked on that, and we saw that since I've been here, we've been getting better and better in that. So I think today the ball was moving, and we were getting a lot of open shots, and that's what we need to do moving forward.
You were critical of your performance against the Warriors. How would you rate how you did tonight, particularly in the first half, because it seemed like you were controlling the action, racking up assists, shooting at a high efficiency number, and obviously the team followed your lead?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. Obviously, always can be better, but the important part is to win the game, and that's what we did today.
Luka, you had that crazy pass to Gabe in the corner. Have you guys practiced that or had any conversations just to get him ready, or what do you think prepared him to be ready for that pass?
I mean, I don't think you can practice that pass, honestly.
It's just, sometimes I decide some stuff that I don't know how I make it. So, I was just glad he made it. He made it because that's a tough shot to make.
What did you say about him as a player, that he was just ready to go? He saw it coming.
He's a big professional. He's a great guy. Once I came here, I didn't know him personally before. So
that physicality paid off. The Lakers were locked in defensively, moved the ball with purpose, and showcased Redick's fingerprints all over their execution. But even Redick wasn't ready for one jaw-dropping moment from his star guard.
To get your reaction, like what stood out the most for you?
I'll give you a general reaction then. Okay.
Sometimes you're good at. I like to see where you go first.
Interesting.
So, yeah. What's the thing that stood out the most?
I thought we were very connected in both intent and in spirit on both ends of the floor. Very committed to what we were trying to do defensively and very committed to where we felt like we could generate good shots offensively against a terrific defense. And there wasn't a let up to that. There wasn't any overreactions to certain possessions. And then, we played at a pretty slow pace there in the second half, but didn't allow them to get out and really have enough possessions to get back into the game, which also was important. And I think our guys did a good job of not just building the lead, but besides that run they made in the second quarter, they maintained that cushion throughout the game, and that's really hard to do against anyone, particularly against this team and particularly in this building.
Specifically on offense, all of the threes that you made, was there a common thread to why you were getting such good and clean looks as to what you wanted to execute offensively?
They played a bunch of different coverages. They played some drop. They played some reds. They played some blitzes. I just thought our ability to recognize, other than one possession, that first possession when they blitzed towards the end of the second quarter, I thought our ability to recognize those coverages was really good. Luka, again, his just ability to make threes. We got I don't know the exact total, but Max will have it on the post-game report. We got some great uncontested corner threes. We missed some uncontested corner threes. I just thought the movement, the spacing, and the intent was great all night.
JJ, kind of two different questions. You mentioned a little bit kind of valuing possessions. It felt like there was one early in the game when they may have gotten 2 or 3 cracks and Caruso hit a 3, but otherwise, it seemed like you guys were the team that was creating extra advantages in that. How pleased were you with your team's response when it came to 50-50 balls, offensive crashing, and different things like that?
Yeah. They ended up with 9 offensive rebounds, and 4 of those came from Dylan Jones in the fourth quarter. So I think overall we did a really good job on the glass. I'd have to get the exact stats, but I know several of our turnovers were dead ball turnovers versus live ball turnovers. So we were able to set our defense. This is going to sound silly. We also had some really timely fouls. Where we weren't in the bonus and maybe they had an advantage, or maybe we had a man down or a man in the trail position. We were able to foul and stop the possession, and then they took it out on the side. So I just think all that stuff contributed to us just not allowing them to get in any sort of rhythm offensively.
And then you've been around Luka now as his coach for a couple months. What do you see from him when it comes to creativity and sort of performance when the test gets bigger, the challenges get harder? It seemed like there was maybe even another level unlocked. The pass he had to Gabe in the corner, a couple of the spin moves and scoop shots, stuff we haven't necessarily seen.
Yeah. I think he relishes the challenge. You're going to get the best defender every night. You're going to get all the different coverages every night when you're him. And similar to LeBron, similar to Jokic, similar to Shea. These guys have seen every test and they've figured out the way to pass each test. And a lot of times they not only pass the test, they ace the test. Sometimes great players can get bored with that process, and so when you get the fully engaged star in a big time game, some special things can happen, and Luka did some special things tonight. We were running a smash, and it was not the first option, but just the way they covered it. Very clear that Gabe was open, and I was like, hit the smash. And he dribbled into the paint and then threw it behind his head. And St. Gina was like, oh, he sees it. You don't need to tell him.